Good day. So today we'll see about non-probability sampling. Non-probability sampling is a type of sampling techniques where the samples are gathered in the process that does not give all the individuals in the population equal chances of being selected. The sampling method is often used when it is difficult or impractical to obtain a random sample, such as in scenarios where the target population is hard to reach or when time and resource constraints are a concern. Unlike probability sampling, non-probability sampling relies on the researcher's judgment and does not allow for statistical inferences to be made about the larger population. However, these approaches can still provide valuable insights and is widely used in various fields of study, including market research, social science, and psychology. So these are the types of non-property sampling. There is convenience sampling, judgment sampling, purposive sampling, quota sampling, and snowball sampling. So convenience sampling is nothing but the selecting of participants based on the availability and accessibility, often the most convenient for the researcher. And then the judgment sampling is selecting participant based on the researcher's expect opinion or judgment about which individuals would be most respective or informative for the study. Purposive sampling is based on the specific criteria or characteristics that align with the research objectives, ensuring the sample is representative of the target population. Quota sampling. Selective participants to match predetermined proportions or quotas in the sample, ensuring representations of different subgroups within the population. Snowball sampling. So, snowball sampling is nothing but selecting participation based on referrals from initial participants, often used to reach hand to access or hidden populations. So here in detail about the convenience sampling, then there is an example that is market research survey. So in a market research survey, a researcher may choose to approach shoppers at a local mall and ask them to participate in a survey about their shopping habits and preferences. The researcher selects participants based on their willingness to participate rather than randomly selecting individuals from the larger population of shoppers. And the advantages and limitations of convenience sampling, that is, it is a quick and a cost effective method, but it is prone to selecting bias as a sample may not be representative to the entire population. Researchers should be cautious when drawing conclusions from convenience sampling as the results may not be generalized to the broader population. And the next is judgment sampling. So judgment sampling is also known as purposive or expect sampling. It's a non-properly sampling technique where the researcher selects participants based on their own judgment or expertise. So this method is often used when the researcher has specific knowledge about the target population and can identify individuals who are likely to provide the most valuable information for the study. And here's an example and the advantages and limitations. So, for the example, it is interviewing experts in a study of effectiveness of a new cancer treatment. Researcher may choose to interview a panel of oncologists and medical experts rather than randomly selecting participants for the general population. The researchers' expertise in the fields allow them to identify the most relevant and knowledgeable individuals to include in the study. And the advantages is they can provide more valuable insights and in-depth understanding of a particular phenomena, as selecting participants are likely to have relevant experiences and knowledge. However, this method is susceptible to bias, as researchers' own judgment and personal preferences may influence the selecting of participations, leading to a non-representative sampling. So here there is purposive sampling. So purposive sampling are also known as judgmental or selective sampling. It's a non-probability sampling technique where the researchers purposefully selects participants based on specific criteria or characteristics that align with the research objectives. This method is often used when the researcher has clear understanding of the target population and specific information they need to collect. And the example is studying sustainable practices. In a study of sustainable farming practices, a researcher may choose to purposefully select participants who are organic farmers as they are likely to have the most relevant knowledge and experiences to contribute to the study. The researcher's selection of participants is based on their alignments with specific researcher objectives rather than random selections. And this is an advantages and limitation of purposive sampling. So it targets a specific subgroups within the population, ensuring that the sample is representative to the study objective. However, this method is susceptible to research bias. The selection of participants is based on the researcher's own judgments and may not accurately represent the broader population. And this is about the quota sampling. So quota sampling is, as we already saw. So quota sampling, uh, it is a proposition with different subgroups in the population, ensuring that the sample is a representative of the target sample. This method is often used in market research and opinion polling to ensure that the sample reflects the demographic characteristics of the body. So here's an example, and these are the advantages and limitations of quota sampling. So the next is a snowball sampling. So here it is a novel probability sampling techniques where the researcher initially selects a few participants and then uses those participants to identify and recruit additional participation. This method is often used to reach populations that are difficult to access, such as hidden or marginalized group, where the single researchers may not have the necessary connections or knowledge to identify potential participants. So this is an example, and this is an example for snowball sampling, and this is the conclusion for that. That is, the non-probability sampling is flexible and accessible. Limitation and biases, and complementary approaches, thoughtful applications. So this is all about for today. Thank you.